Hey guys, and welcome back to another stupid, delusional episode of
Is this thing on?
Wait, was that a guy's voice?
No, it wasn't.
Or was it my inner demon speaking?
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
It could be.
It could be.
It could be.
What?
But I'm very physical at the moment.
Who is that?
I am the artist formerly known as Richard. The people that call me Trevor are those who are usually closest to me.
And what's your relation to the podcast host?
Currently, the relation is complicated, but I think the official description is boyfriend.
Oh, okay. Why is it complicated?
Because you are not a simple person. But
I'm not.
But I'm not a simple guy either.
So, that's my silly boyfriend, guys, for whoever's listening.
Mm-hmm. And we have her wonderful roommate playing music in the background as she's getting out of the shower. So right now we have nothing really to talk about that I can think of.
What about those topics we brought up a little while ago?
Topics. I think I was going to talk about where vampires came from.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's not really a specific urban legend that anyone can tie it down to, but obviously,
shouldn't you do an introduction?
Introduction of what?
Of yourself.
Oh,
so that the podcast people know.
People don't care about me. They want to hear about vampires.
I guess, but if you hear any background noise, it's my roommate Lily. Shout out to roommate Lily for her sexy background music. Yeah.
Anyway, vampires.
No, say a little brief introduction.
Okay. My name is Richard Trevor Givens.
You don't have to say your full name.
Most people call me Trevor because my dad's name is also Richard, so it avoids confusion.
And his parents listen to the podcast. So shout out to Karen and Richard if they're listening to this. They're amazing parents, and they told me to say that.
They are amazing parents. They did not tell me to say that. I'm just saying that of my own volition. I do not have a gun pointed to my head. I am not being forced to do this right now. I'm here of my own will. Yeah.
It's also dating me at his own will.
No guns involved. No guns involved. Yeah. So vampires.
We've been dating for 6 months. So we're obviously very comfortable with each other.
We've been dating for 6 months, and it is the best relationship I've been in. Ever. Yeah.
The best relationship ever.
In case the mic didn't pick it up, she kissed me on the nose. So yeah, we're that kind of people. We're that weird lovey-dovey couple. Sorry, I know you can't see us, but you can probably hear the smooching. And I think the music is coming back.
It's coming back. So they get copyrighted. It was nice knowing you guys. Anyways, vampires. Talk about vampires, babe.
So vampires. Not really one specific myth or legend can be tied to the origin story of vampiric individuals. But the most common one that is attributed to people is of Vlad the Impaler, Dracul, the son of dragons.
My dad's middle name is Vladimir, so this ought to be fun.
Yes. Being a horrendous man himself, he wished to protect his kingdom. And how did he do that? Well, by becoming the Impaler. He would fight his enemies and take their bodies and create large wooden stakes that he would then impale their bodies upon.
You could say the stakes were high, but
they were very much high on stakes, yes, in order to scare away anybody who would dare invade. This also kind of perpetuated the idea that he was a vampire because of his unquenchable thirst for violence. He liked to see people bleed to death. There's also another reason is that people did not understand fully how bodies decomposed back then. Whenever you bury someone and they are exposed to the elements for a particular period of time, they do not rot away immediately. They in fact bloat up first because the bacteria is decaying, is breaking down their bodily organs and creating gas. As bacteria
so even
do.
As dead people, we fart.
Yes. The last things that most people do before they die is evacuate their bowels, and then after that, the rest is.
So you go out with a bag. The bang could either be you letting out a big fart or a big shart.
Yep. So anyway, bodies in their decomposition process, when the bacteria builds up gas in them, they start to inflate, and the blood that is left in their body will actually trickle out of orifices. So people would find exposed dead bodies that they had thought that they had buried, but when they see the body itself, it looks like it has become fatter, and there's also blood around its mouth. So people were jumping to the conclusion that these dead bodies were not in fact dead fully, but they were undead. They were monsters that prowled the night and sucked the blood of beasts and men in order to survive. And then also Bram Stoker created the story off of both the combination of that folklore of how dead bodies decompose and also Vlad the Impaler, and created kind of a mythos around the vampire. Uh, and interestingly enough, because people couldn't get the rights to use Bram Stoker's Dracula, they created the movie, the first recorded movie of a vampire story of Nosferatu, because they couldn't secure the rights to the actual book.
I knew that.
Yeah.
The original film, I think, is in Bulgarian or Czech or something. I've seen a version of it from like the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
It's in. Actually, it might be in Serbian now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But the cinematography is really pretty.
It is very impactful. It was a memorable movie for a reason.
Almost as memorable as the hair I had in my mouth for the last, I don't know how many minutes.
But yes, vampires have become a prominent caricature creature in many myth and legend and movies. And no, they do not sparkle in the sunlight. I believe I have.
My boyfriend does.
When I'm sweating. I believe the actual book Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, does not even say that vampires die in sunlight. They just become weaker. So there's a lot of rules around vampirism and stuff like that that kind of develops out of its own, not necessarily from the book, but vampires immediately dying in sunlight by setting on fire is kind of a pop cultural reference that was made off of the book.
So you're telling me Edward Cullen doesn't walk this earth?
Or Edward, the actor that plays Edward Cullen does.
Arpats does.
Yes.
But I'm talking about sparkly vampires.
He only walks the world of your heart and sucks the blood from it.
Yeah. Well, I was a Twihart. I did read all the books, did see all the movies. I was obsessed with Edward. I was always Team Edward. Jacob... See, Jacob was nice when I was in the movie theater and I was a hormonal teenage girl. And yeah, I did care for abs, but Edward...
The shirtlessness, the abs, it kind of makes up for lack of personality.
Yeah, but Edward, there was just something about his dead, decaying, glistening, sparkling body.
I will always remember fondly the actor who played Jacob, right? As
Taylor Lautner.
As Shark Boy.
Yeah, because he was in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, if you ever saw him. And actually, the reason he got that role was because he's a black belt.
Interesting.
In martial arts.
I thought it was because of his shark-like features.
Well, that too. He did have sharp.
He has like very
prominent
eyebrows, like
canines,
sharp eyebrows,
and
and very sharp teeth, and the whole fact that he could breathe underwater, had scales, would frequently eat seals. I mean, it qualifies him for being a shark boy.
Shark Boy. Yeah. But yeah, I did read up that he did several years of martial arts, so that's one of the main reasons they got him on it, because he did all his own stunts.
Wow.
In the movie.
They would explain the abs too.
Yeah. Nice abs. But not as nice as Edward's intelligence, so.
Oh, yeah. You prefer a ripped brain rather than a ripped chest?
There's actually a term for this.
Okay.
I'm a sapiosexual, which means I'm attracted to smart men. My boyfriend's incredibly smart, so there you have it.
So, do you know the difference?
The Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane? Yeah, I do.
The difference between sentience and sapience?
No. Explain.
Many living things are sentient in that they can feel or hear or see or touch, smell like you can with me now. You can hear me over the microphone, and that means you are sentient. You have senses. But sapience means that beings that have wisdom or beings that have knowledge. Therefore, it distinguishes humanity above the animals, and that animals, though they can manipulate things around them like a monkey, they don't have forethought beyond the immediate. They can plan things in the short term, but they don't have aspirations or desires.
And they can memorize things like patterns and all that stuff, but they don't have any exterior rationale.
Right. You cannot expect an ape to worry about taxes.
But you could probably teach an ape some sign language and it'll pick it up.
You can teach gorillas sign language, but did you know that the most famous instance of a gorilla learning sign language being Coco the gorilla most likely did not know any form of actual sign language in terms of putting a sentence together. It could learn signs. It can learn to mimic certain hand shapes and movements that its handler was teaching it. And it could get basic things across, like food and needing to go to the bathroom or things like that. But it would not put sentences together in any meaningful way. In fact, there was a story that I saw on a YouTube video, so you know it's real.
I know it's real.
You know it's real. Of a deaf individual who was working part-time at the zoo that Coco was in, and he was charged to watch the gorilla and make sure that he was doing all right. And he would note that the fact that though he saw the gorilla using some ASL signs, it was repeating the signs in a meaningless manner. It was saying like food, milk, milk, food, poop.
Maybe it wanted it all in that order.
Yes. Food, milk, poop. I mean, that's what babies do. So maybe that's like a level of intelligence that a baby could understand. But it could not express more complex desires like a wish for freedom or anything like that. This is directly contradictory to many of the advertisements that the zoo used as Coco was a part of, because they would edit together Coco doing like certain clips, signs of those clips, but they were so heavily edited in order to realign where the signs were in the sentence to make it actually make sense. Otherwise, it was just a bunch of meaningless gibberish.
So you're telling me Planet of the Apes can't happen and they all just don't communicate in signs?
Apes can communicate in simple ways to other apes.
But can they throw over the world?
If you give any creature a gun, it can do some nasty business.
But if we give him a banana blaster, a banana gun?
A banana slammer? A banana gun, slammer. I don't know. But a banana phone, maybe. Ring, 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 ring. Banana phone. Yeah. Planet of the Apes, the original, was based upon a fiction that astronauts got caught into some sort of time warp or like a wormhole and returned to the planet Earth millions and millions and millions of years later, and under the assumption of the fact that any existing gorillas or chimps or things like that would eventually evolve into a sapient species. And as they developed into a sapient species, they would necessarily be jealous of humans, and humans would try to put them down because they don't want another species that is on the same par as them. And so they would start a war, and then the apes would eventually take over because they're physically more superior. And so the humans return and are captured in this thing that they think is called, that they think is an alien planet of advanced gorillas and stuff like that, but they find out that it's actually Earth. And then the other new Planet of the Apes movies are trying to explain how a gorilla or a chimp or a monkey could feasibly gain the sentience required to do something like that in such a short amount of time that it would overthrow humanity, rather than just waiting for all of humans to die out before anything like that would happen. Just for those of you listening, I don't necessarily believe in any kind of macroevolution. I know it may shock some of you. Microevolution is something that is plausible, and in fact, we observe it in science every day, that there are small permutations within the genetic structure of an animal as it either adapts to the environment or is killed off by certain predators. However, a fish turning into a chimp, turning into a human, with a bunch of interspaced things
it's not
along
those
the way.
Weird books that we read growing up.
It does not really make sense, and it's to any rational scientist. I don't think anyone could say it's provable. That's why it remains a theory. And no matter what Neil deGrasse Tyson tells you, theories, though they may be very plausible, are not exactly law. And hey, we have a guest here.
Hey, come on the podcast.
We're doing a podcast.
We're on the podcast.
Did you just start?
Yeah, we've been starting
we are
for
15 minutes and
in.
28 seconds in.
Me.
She bought a new microphone that you're hearing our voices on.
Get on it.
Hi, guys.
That's Lily.
Okay, I'm gonna go back.
No.
And now Lily is leaving.
Okay, she's leaving. As you can see, this man is very smart, knows a lot of tips and fun facts that I don't know.
To steal a phrase from a character that I saw on Adventure Time, I have an approximate knowledge of many things. So, though I am deemed smart by my girlfriend, I do not consider myself all that smart in that I just pick up a lot of useless trivia that happens to regurgitate out of my mouth when the need arises. You regurgitate as well?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Especially after drinking one too many?
Yes, the wine.
Yes.
It's wine o'clock.
Yes.
In vino veritas.
In vino veritas.
That's true. In wine there is truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just regurgitating what was true, babe.
Yeah. Well, I've been talking for most of this time. Are there any topics that you want to go off of?
Let's see. Should we talk about how we met? How you decided one day that you wanted to ask me out? Because guys, he used to think I was yucky.
Yeah.
For a good while.
For a little while.
We've been friends for a good while.
Yeah.
We've known each other for what, like 3.5 years?
Somewhere around there.
And we have an age difference. It's not much.
Yeah, I'm 78. I know my voice doesn't really convey the age that I am, but yeah, I'm 78 and she's 13. So this is probably illegal in every state in the world. Yeah.
Probably outlawed.
Yeah, it's just downright criminal.
Yeah.
But in reality, I'm 30 and she's 25. So please do not call the FBI on us.
Please do not call CPS.
Yes. or Elder Protective Services. You may be abusing me. You may be abusing me.
I am abusing you.
Yeah.
With kisses.
With kisses. Oh no, the worst abuse. Violence. All right.
Little ASMR for you guys.
So how we met. We met when a mutual friend of ours named Matt. Shout out to Matt. I don't know if we need to use last names. Please strike that from the record books. There is no Matt of any other name. It is just the
Matt.
The M man. We will call him
M man.
M man. He brought her to a Bible study that we were doing, and with part of our church back when we had a very small youth group. We called it young adults because it captures all of the young people up to the people that should be considered adults but aren't ready for that yet. And so when I first met her, we were both sitting at the table and we were talking about random topics. And maybe this wasn't the first time, but it was one of the first times. Mm-hmm. But you referenced something close to the fact of that you make people very aware when you're interested in them. And then you immediately looked at me,
according to him,
and stared at me for a good 2 or 3 seconds while I kind of tried to avert my gaze and was like, oh, she is desperate and I want none of that. And so that's how we start off an excellent relationship on the right foot.
I had not told anyone that I had liked them yet, but I think he was under the notion that I was like gaga over him.
I was under the impression that you were willing to be gaga over anybody who was going to give you time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I I'm gonna be honest. This was a period of my time of life where I did have very low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to be with someone for a long time, and frankly, for a long time, I got told that I was being desperate, and also, I mean, I was desperate in that period of time. Like, let's just be honest. The men I dated around this time were very questionable.
Very sus.
Shout out to some of the ones that I've shouted out on here. I was looking to fill a void. I really was doing that. And so, but I had for so long been told by so many people, oh, relationship's not that great. Like, it sucks. It's a lot of work. And I'm like, yeah, it's easy for you to say, Cindy Lou Who, because you've already been in a relationship and your relationship happened to suck. And, you know, for a lot of my friends, they did have sucky relationships and they would tell me about their relationship woes. And I was over here as the token single friend giving all this great advice that I would never really apply to myself. And I was always told, well, don't want it so much and maybe it'll come to you. And so I I wasn't immediately interested in you. It probably took like a year ish.
A year-ish?
I was attracted to you.
Okay.
There's a very distinct difference between being attracted to someone
Mm-hmm.
and then being gaga over them.
Okay.
And wanting their babies and everything.
But were you goo goo gaga?
I was not goo goo gaga over
Okay.
you
Okay.
then. I found you very attractive along with someone else that we
shall not name at the moment.
Yeah. And so no, but I didn't act upon it. I did flirt with him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not like that.
Yeah.
And so for a good while, I mean, we did start developing a friendship and we would talk here and there, and him and I have always gotten along because we have very similar punny humor. And
we're pretty equally wacky, even though my wacky is a little bit quieter than her wacky.
Yes, he's very introverted wacky. I'm extroverted wacky. Is that Willow Smith? Hold on, wait a minute. and so then it took what 3.5. Well, then there was a period of time last year. I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast where I was in a really, really low place mentally. And it was you and someone else that shall not be mentioned for legal purposes that really pulled me out of my rut and helped me see that I needed help.
Mm-hmm.
And this man had heard everything through it all, pretty much. I felt very comfortable around you and telling you my mental health struggles, and you would always make sure I was okay, and even though you didn't have to make sure, but
mm-hmm.
and I just saw that as something very redeemable in a partner, and something that I really, really wanted, besides the pretty exterior that he
Mm-hmm.
is.
The chiseled Greek Adonis that I am.
He is.
Yeah.
And so after a while, I realized I had to go to therapy, like most people do. And what happened? Oh, I stopped taking the focus on dating people, on making my worth known to a man. Because for a while I was going after men that were emotionally unavailable.
Mm.
And it's not that you were emotionally unavailable, because you never were, but you were very like, ew, she's flirting with me.
Mm-hmm.
Get away.
Mm-hmm.
Desperation.
Yes.
And and looking back at it now, I was very desperate. I am very desperate. Well,
and
I'm not desperate.
To all of you ladies and gentlemen out there, desperation is the worst perspirant. It will make you stink to high heaven, and you will make yourself very unattractive. So this might be the worst advice that you've ever heard in your life, but one key to attracting people is to not be overtly desperate.
Yeah. Those should be two of Calvin Klein's new scents, because he already has obsession and he has, I don't know what the other one's called, but it should be desperation
Mm-hmm.
and overly Flirtatious. That should be the
and perspiration.
Oh, perspiration.
That would be a revolutionary style scent if it just made you smell like you're already sweaty.
They do have that. They have musk.
Yeah, Musk. It's like Elon Musk.
Elon Musk should come out with his own musk.
Elon's Musk.
Elon's musk.
It'll
It'll be a musk have.
it'll be out of this world because it's like on a rocket ship.
On a rocket ship.
Yeah.
But
It'll be electric because of Tesla.
electrifying.
Yeah.
To wear.
Yeah.
It'll repel positive and negatives.
It'll make you Doge. I don't know. Dogecoin.
Yeah. So yeah, for a while I took the focus off of dating and I just decided to just focus on my mental health and focus on God and focus on being the best version of myself. And for a while I was hyping this man up because I wanted him to find someone amazing.
And that was the funny thing about it, though, is that I had told her on more than one occasion that I was not interested in dating her, even though she was very clearly interested in dating me.
Twice, thrice, who knows?
I don't know. I lost count after the 15th time. I don't know. And I had decided to try to date someone else who we both knew, going to the same church, which could have gotten ugly if it was if it turned out bad. But when I asked her out, I was immediately told, I'll think about it. And then never got back to me again. So I was like, okay, that's not going to happen. So I'm just gonna take a pause for a second here and try to reevaluate why I'm trying to date someone. What am I actually looking for in a partner? Am I looking for just raw physical attraction, or do I want someone who can match my character and who has qualities that I find beneficial as a potential wife? And I was trying to reevaluate who I was looking for. And I began to realize that as you had calmed down, as you had lost that
guys,
powerful scent of desperation,
I went from hysterical woman to less hysterical.
Less hysterical, yes. Yeah. Not as hysterical, Eva. But yeah, I reevaluated that and realized that I wanted what I've heard called a 2-bucket woman.
Explain to me this concept, because I don't even know it.
So there's the kind of woman that can carry a bucket with you, going out to the well, getting the water, carrying it back home. So there's a kind of woman that will wait for you to bring the water home, and there's a kind of woman that will come out and lift the water with you and take 2 buckets home. And by doing so, you get more water in the same amount of time. And so I think this lady is a 2-bucket woman.
I'm a buff lady too.
She is a buff lady. I am squishing her biceps right now. And I'm getting some resistance, not as much as I would like, but some. Yes, I like to tease her, but it is all within love. Yeah.
It's been all within love.
And 6 months later, we have been dating. We've been doing various things, going to parks. Stargazing was our most recent adventure with my parents.
That was fun. Again, shout out to Karen and Richard who listened to this. I'm sorry that you have to listen to this. Well, you don't have to, but you're willingly listening to it. So I'm shouting you out again in case I forget. Maybe I should make that part of my ads.
Shout outs to shout outs. Shout
out to Karen and Richard.
Yeah. They don't support you financially, but they will fix your TV stand.
They did. They came over last week and they fixed, or this past week. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Time is a construct, but they came over and they fixed our TV stand. I think that's
Entertainment center.
Entertainment center.
A table with holes in it.
A table with holes in it.
Yeah. And
also the end tables too. They I don't know what they did, but
the end tables were easy because they were just attached with wing nuts, so we just tightened those a little bit.
See, I don't know anything about winging someone's nuts.
Los testículos.
I taught him how to say these nuts in Spanish, so he will often say those.
Mi novia es bonita. I have no idea what that means. She just told me to say that every day.
It means that his girlfriend is pretty.
Yes, it does. I see we're getting close to the end of the 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Should we do an ad break?
I guess we can. Is there a required ad break, or is it?
I already have an ad pre-recorded.
Okay, let's do that.
We're gonna. I guess we're gonna wait for this thing to. Okay, see you guys in a bit.
Bye.
Hey everyone, is this thing on? Hey y'all, it's Eva. Want to know how I got started with this podcast nearly 2 years ago? Well, keep listening. I downloaded the Anchor app and went to anchor.fm to start editing and producing my podcast. I added music and sound effects and all these amazing things that Anchor provides you with absolutely for free so you can make the most out of your podcast. All you have to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And what is so amazing about Anchor is that Anchor will distribute your podcast absolutely free. It will distribute it to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many, many more. And you can make money off your podcast no matter how many listeners you have on your listenership. That's right. You can get paid for your podcast, which is absolutely amazing. You can have fun and get paid while doing so. So if you want to get started with your very own podcast, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm. Do it now. Hey guys, we're back.
Welcome back. If you heard an ad, then something worked. If you did not hear an ad, then it didn't work. But anyway, we're back.
We're back. Fall time is coming up. So that means that for all you basic white girls out there, it's almost our time to shine.
It is the hour of the boots with the fur, the apple bottom jeans, and
pumpkin spice lattes.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
What do you think about pumpkin spice lattes? I mean, I know you don't really drink coffee, but
I like the smell of coffee and I like the smell of pumpkin. So whenever they're having the latest deal of pumpkin spice, I enjoy the aroma of the overall experience. But I have had a pumpkin spice latte at a reputable coffee shop, and I did not care for the taste because I am not a coffee drinker.
He's not.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? How is it that I'm dating a non-coffee drinker when I'm a coffee fiend?
Yeah, it's just I wake up with the sheer power of will and a phone alarm that's very loud.
See, I wish I had that willpower, but I don't. It's called complacency and laziness.
Yeah.
And procrastination. I'm a mix of all those. So obviously you're a tea person.
I do like tea. Tea is fun. I like Bengal spice. I think is my favorite kind of tea. Underneath that, maybe mint or like what do you call it? A cinnamon spice, a posh spice.
A posh spice. You hear that, Victoria Beckham? He's coming after you next.
Nah. I think Mr. Beckham's got that covered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What other tea? Oh, he likes drinking the tea and spilling the tea.
Yes, I will spill the tea, but not live on air.
Yeah, not live on air.
No, not live on air. So then, what do you think is beyond the edge of the universe?
Oof, beyond the edge of the universe.
Yeah. Assuming there is an edge and it doesn't just fold back in on itself.
Oh, so you mean to say the Earth is not flat?
No. The Earth is not the edge of the universe.
Okay, the edge of the universe, like the edge of the Milky Way?
Well, the Milky Way is inside the universe.
Okay.
Uni being one and verse being all of it. So the one everything.
Was it the edge of it?
All the galaxies, all the star clusters, all the gas giants and black holes that are theoretically out there.
Probably the black hole version of me.
Nice.
Probably like some, I don't know, maybe an alien. Probably not an alien.
So whenever the astronauts get to the edge of space, they just see you, but like a black hole void version.
Disintegrated and everything.
Just like, and everything's gone.
Yeah, me doing the Elmo impression. Hey everybody, it's me, Elmo.
Oh no, it's Elmo.
Mr. Nuno owes me rent. He never paid it, so I killed him.
Yeah.
And then Kermit the Frog would walk in on Elmo stabbing Mr. Noodle.
Hey, why are you stabbing Mr. Noodle? That's violent.
Elmo had a lot of fun doing it.
Well, just because you have fun doesn't make it right.
Why did you gotta spoil the fun, Kermit?
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side?
Your mom.
Yep, I'm pretty sure my mom is on the other side of the rainbow. Because my mom is a pot of gold.
Lucky Charms.
Yes.
So that's what's on the other side.
I don't know. I mean, there's different theories about it because when you study the redshift of stars, which is the last color that you can see as they're traveling away from us, it looks like all stars are traveling away from us.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on that, it is probable that we are near the center of the universe. So, and from what it looks like, when you take a spectrum scan from up and down, it kind of looks like it's in a disc shape. So it's possible that the universe is kind of flat-ish with like a little burst of stuff going up and down everywhere, and then it's going outward. So it's expanding into something. But if the universe contains all space, then what is it expanding into?
Space contains all the universe.
What if there's just more space out there?
More space?
Infinite directions.
You mean I can just fit my junk in space?
Theoretically, if we shoot our trash out fast enough from the Earth's orbit, it will probably never bother us again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the future. We're going to have so many satellites up above the Earth that we're going to create a orbit of debris that is going to make it impossible to shoot rockets out into the Earth's atmosphere. And then we're going to have to figure out a way to get all that junk cleaned up. Yep.
So, less junk in your trunk.
So, here's another question.
Okay.
To say, let's a possible theoretical thing right here.
Mm-hmm.
What if the Earth is doomed to a ecological disaster? Would you rather stay here on Earth and try to tough it out, become like a Mad Max style survivor, or do you want to go with the spacefaring people out into nowhere, hoping that there's another planet that's suitable for life?
You know, being the chaotic bitch that I am. Oops, didn't mean to curse.
No, you did.
Okay, I did. In D&D, I would be a chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral. Chaos for chaos's sake.
I guess, or chaotic. What was it?
Well, there's typically good, neutral, and evil, and then lawful, neutral, and chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're chaotic neutral, that means that the only aspect of your character that is the most emphatic is your chaos. So you just want to have fun. You just want to cause people distress. But if you were chaotic good, that would mean that you were somebody who is a practical joker, somebody who is out to have fun with other people, but not necessarily to harm them. If you're chaotic evil, you're out there to cause as much chaos as possible to the destruction and harm of other people. And maybe even yourself, just for fun. So you would stay in the Mad Max universe and be a road warrior in the deserts?
Nah.
No? You want to go to space?
I want to go to space.
You want to go to space? Because I thought the Mad Max world would be the most chaotic, but you want to go to space and create more chaos out in the universe. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because who wouldn't want more of me causing trouble?
Okay. Let's say now you're on a spaceship.
Okay.
And the spaceship is traveling to a destination that people think may be a livable planet. What is your duty upon the spaceship?
To drop a duty on the
Easy joke. I honor that the fact that you went for it. It's so easy. I didn't want to go there. I'll rephrase. What purpose do you serve aboard the spaceship?
And make people my bitch. No.
So you're commanding officer.
Yeah, I'm commanding officer.
Okay.
Everybody is just not funny.
Uh-huh.
And they're all dumb.
Uh-huh.
And so someone's got to take over, right? I feel like all these people that I went to space with, they're probably freaking out.
Maybe.
They're probably drunk or something.
What if they're the best of the best? What if there's all the
Oh.
experts that they want to save?
So you're talking about Mr. Musk and
It doesn't have to be Mr. Musk. Could it be kind of like an arc of sorts in space to save the best people and the best animals?
okay,
So in that situation, you're the best of the best. What are you the best at?
twerking.
Okay. They want to make sure that the culture of the 23rd century is preserved for all future generations, and part of that culture is the still surviving twerk back from 2019, 2018. So they get the twerkiest twerker in the universe, put her aboard the spaceship to make sure the twerking stays living and well. And that's your function among this crewmates.
And then I have to procreate with all of them
Okay, so you're a breeding twerker.
to expand the universe.
It's true, but they probably don't need more people on the ship. They want more people when you get to a planet so you can repopulate
Well,
there.
then they can drop me like it's hot.
They can drop you in the sun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just drop her like it's hot. Just twerking right, spinning all the way down
Like,
onto the sun, twerking, and ash.
Pretty much.
And that's how twerking dies in the 23rd century.
It does. That's the end of twerking, guys, as you've heard it here first.
So that's the conclusion, is that the twerking one is the sus one, and most likely is the person who is the imposter.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, you have to vote Eva out first.
Or you're on the ship with me, and you kill me, or you leave me for an alien.
Oh, I kill you or leave you for an alien. Okay, what do you think my purpose would be on the spaceship, and not to drop a duty?
What would your duty be?
Yeah, what would my duty be?
To be the smart ass of the group.
Okay, comedic relief, a little bit of a straight man, kind of like Barb.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you would also just punch whoever's not doing their job.
Okay, so a commanding officer. Maybe security.
We're both
security officer.
Have too much of a loud personality to just be little bitches.
Yeah. You see, I think I would be like communications or something like that.
Okay, yes, communication. You would know the alien language that we would need to expand our fleet into the other universe.
Yeah. I think the job that you might have on the spaceship is that you are the world's best bartender or counselor or something like that. Somebody who listens to everybody else's problems and then complains about them to your podcast.
Oh.
Captain's log, my 335th journal entry since the days that we have left Earth. I have heard the problems of every single crewmate, and they are awful, and I want to stop thinking about them.
And I want to throw myself off this spaceship.
Yeah, I want to twerk my way out of here. Yeah.
I want to get my boyfriend out of the spaceship by twerking as well.
Okay. Captain, we have somebody twerking outside the airlock. It appears that they have stolen one of the spacesuits, and now they are putting their butt against the window.
Hey, the moon landing was lame. How about moon twerking?
Moon mooning?
Moon mooning.
I mean, just gotta take off the spacesuit and die, but it was worth it.
Hey, I'll do it.
Yeah. Moon
I'll
mooning.
moon everyone.
Yep. Full moon? Half moon? Semicircle? Full moon. Pull the tides.
A full spread on National Geographic Space Edition. Instead of them being like, "Is that the moon? Is that a new one of Pluto's new moons?" No, it's that crazy, chaotic woman flashing her bare bottoms.
Breaking news: the first woman from the Rio Grande Valley to set foot on the moon has made history by twerking on another space ball.
Space balls?
Yeah.
Is that a parody of Space Jam?
Space Jam? No, it's a parody of Star Wars.
Spaceballs.
Space Jam 2 is a parody of Space Jam.
Mm.
And a bad one at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Movie recommendations. Have you seen any movies that you would recommend to people?
As of late, no. I have to really be in the mood to watch a good movie, and I typically just go back to the same ones I've seen in a while. I, go between a chick flick and an action figure faction.
The faction figure?
Faction figure
Uh-huh.
genre. I don't have any good ones to recommend. I think if the cinematography's pretty, I'll watch it. I want to get into like French New Wave films.
Okay.
Oh, the baguette.
Yes.
Ah, oui, oui, baguette. Rouge.
Rouge Noir.
Rouge Noir by Christian Dior. Don't think we're trying to insult any French people here.
Yes, if there's anybody from across the pond listening here from France,
très, très, très désolé.
Très désolé.
Je t'aime à Paris. Je ne sais pas. Désolé.
I love baguettes. Like no joke. They are a great form of bread. Thank you for your country to provide that to us.
What else?
What else?
Oh, never mind. No, I was gonna make a baguette joke.
Okay.
You instead of
I'm go ahead. I'm ready.
You're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for the joke.
Are you? I was gonna make a fromage.
Cheesy joke.
Are you instead of a baguette? Instead of baggage, you eat a baguette to forget about your baggage.
Yes.
And then
if you put your clothes inside of a baguette, it becomes a baggage.
Baggage.
A baggage.
About
I'm reforming the joke that you just said, essentially. A baggage. Baguette into a baggage. Pourquoi? Oui.
I said why.
Yeah.
No, what is your favorite movie? Or what's a movie that you...
My favorite movie. To be honest, people ask me that, and I don't really have an answer because I'm not a huge movie fan. But the last big movie I saw that really was impactful was the Dune movie. I liked that one. Even though it was only part one of what may be a 2 or 3 part series based on the first book, I really liked the cinematography, the music, the acting was good, and it had set up the story well. People who hadn't read the book yet probably will have a little bit of a hard time understanding the context of it, but they do a good enough job to make you understand just as a small narrative what's going on. Because the first part of the book is honestly the easiest part to turn into a movie because it's the most linear. The later half of it gets on to like massive planet dominating warfare, and it's going to be epic to watch, but hard to explain.
You hear that? Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. Mr. Tim Shal himself.
Timmy Tim.
Remy Tim.
No, well, he used to rap in his high school, college days.
Is he kind of like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch?
Not quite.
No.
But he doesn't have a Calvin Klein underwear campaign.
Okay. I don't want to see Timothy Chalamet in underwear. It seems like he'd be too scrawny.
You know who does like Timothy Chalamet? My roommate.
Okay, well, let's not spill that tea just yet.
Lily, come here and verify this for me because she does.
Mm-hmm. I will agree that his face has attractive features to it, but the rest of him is rather string beanie. Yeah.
No, I'd have to agree. I'm more of a let's see. Jake Gyllenhaal,
Jake
Mark
Gyllenhaal.
Ruffalo,
Mark Ruffalo.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, so like superheroes.
Yeah. Also, what's his name? He. Oh, what's his?
What was he in?
No. Well, I know he's black.
Okay, that narrows it down a little bit.
Idris Elba is really.
Idris Elba is a very handsome man.
Handsome.
Yes.
What was his name? It's killing me.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Very handsome man as well.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of. It starts with a D.
The guy who played Black Panther. I forget his name.
Chadman.
That's Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. No, he was very attractive as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Michael B. Jordan is super attractive. No, it's
lists off every black actor that you know from Hollywood.
Jesse Williams. Grey's Anatomy. No. What's his name? He's a little bit older. Not Morgan Freeman. Well, okay, yes. In
Morgan Freeman's voice alone
respect,
is
Morgan
enough.
Freeman is very sexy.
I will listen to him talk about penguins all day.
I'm thinking of what's his name? What?
Dwayne Johnson. That's The Rock.
But he's Samoan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's attractive. No, I'm trying to think. It starts with a D. Dennis something. No, it's not Dennis. It's not Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Quaid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Quad. Hey, it's me, Dennis Quad.
What? He's not a espresso shot. Sorry. No, it's what's his name?
I don't know. What is his name? What was he in?
I can't think of it.
So you love this actor that you know is black, but you have no idea what he was in or what his name is.
He's like in his 50s.
He's like in his 50s. Okay, so he's an older actor. Was he in a genre specifically?
Mostly action, I would say.
Mostly action. Okay. I think I know who you're talking about. He was the guy that was in. I know who you're talking about. She is now Googling black actors.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
He's so
attractive.
Yeah,
Denzel Washington.
Let's just go down the list.
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson, pretty hot. Will Smith is pretty hot.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy, no, not really. He's funny, but not attractive. Lawrence Fishburne, he's more intimidating, I think. Wesley Snipes in his heyday, pretty attractive guy.
Yeah.
Nowadays, not so much.
Yeah. Let's see this man. Kevin Hart. No.
Kevin Hart, no.
In his heyday.
Because he was the guy that played Blade, I think.
Really? In Blade Runner?
No. Blade, the vampire movie. Back to vampires. Hey, we're coming around full circle. Yeah. Wesley Snipes. He was the guy who played Blade in the first 3 Blade movies. I think the only 3 Blade movies. And then he never did another one because he was caught for tax evasion.
Oh.
And he went to prison.
So they... I was going to make a Dora the Explorer / play on his last name.
Snipes, no sniping?
Sniper, no sniping.
Yeah. Tax evader, no tax evading.
Speaking of tax evasion, Jeffrey Epstein, dead or not dead?
Ooh, I'm thinking he's probably dead, and he did not kill himself.
You think he had a hitman?
I think it's very suspicious, the fact that the cameras didn't work and nobody was patrolling the area at the exact moment when he died. And he somehow got, I don't know if it was rope or like a sheet or something like that, and tied it and hung himself. It's pretty unlikely that he did all that within a very short amount of time. So I'm thinking he probably was about to rat out some high-name political people, and they just decided to off him.
Off with your head.
Yeah.
Dance till you're not dead because you're Jeffrey Epstein.
I used to rule the world.
I used to rule the world. We always go back to Coldplay.
Words.
I love Coldplay.
Yeah. Never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we are drawing to a close of this second half of the podcast. Sorry to shortchange you a little bit because we're only about 34 minutes in. But yeah, any last words for the audience?
Just that I hope my boyfriend comes on another episode.
I hope so too.
And I love you a lot.
I love you too, quite a bit.
And find yourself a Trevor, ladies.
Yep.
He doesn't have to be named Trevor.
We're in short supply.
But this man right here.
A Trevoro or a Trevino would probably also
work
suffice. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know about
what
that.
if my name was Trevor Trevino?
Well, fun fact about him: if he had been a girl, his name was going to be Regina Denise.
Regina Denise. This is a shout out specifically to my parents who were going to call me Regina Denise if I were a girl, which I am thankful that I came out with a penis.
If I were a boy, even just for a day. If I were a boy. See, guys, he matches my energy. You need a partner. Any last bit relationship advice? I think you need a partner that matches your energy, is willing to be as goofy and silly as you are. And I think the reason we work so well is because we're just so open and honest and vulnerable with each other.
It's true.
Any last bit of advice that you give?
The dating advice that I would give to those people out there who are listening is the same dating advice I gave at the beginning. Desperation is a horrible, horrible smell. Don't be desperate. For those of you who are Christians, I would say trust in the Lord and definitely try to make yourself into a person that you would want to date. Work on yourself.
That's true.
If you can find a therapist, that helps.
Therapist. I have resources below in the description box as always. The hotlines is also there. So.
And as always, check out the podcast.
Check out Justin and Tevi's podcast.
The Pogcast.
The Pogcast. They record at midnight. They're funny dudes. They're dear friends of ours. It's linked below in the description. I
think that's it.
Don't call the podcast number maybe anymore because we found out.
Oh yeah, it's somebody else's number now.
It is.
Yeah. So if you're calling the podcast number, you're going to be calling some random lady, and she's going to be pissed.
And she's going to be pissed if you left her voicemails asking for dating advice. Yeah, she's going to want to charge you by the hour if you do that. Well, guys, it's been fun. It's been real.
And I think this thing was on.
It was it on? Yeah, I think. I think you guys had heard that. Anyways, tune in next week or don't. I don't care. But if you do, hey, thanks. And I'll bring this guy on again.
Yeah.
This random man that I didn't just meet today.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
This isn't YouTube, Trevor.
Check out my SoundCloud.
I do have a SoundCloud, but the things I have on there are embarrassing. They're covers. They're kind of old. Check out at your own discretion.
If you want some cringe.
If you really, really want some cringe, go to my first YouTube channel and check those videos out. This podcast episode will actually indeed be uploaded later onto my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. I'm kind of behind on uploading the current last week's episode onto my YouTube channel, so I'll do that soon, potentially. Yeah, have a great morning, day, or night, whatever time of the day you're listening to this, and go be nice to people, and maybe fall in love. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.